Hey guys, welcome to your session of drainage where we are only going to the map works. I am clarifying it right at the beginning of the session. Guys, we are not going to do the entire session in terms of theory. This chapter has been removed only in terms of theory. Map work is still coming. So please don't be confused. I am Ankara, your master teacher for social sciences at Vedantu. Hoping all of you are doing absolutely amazing. So guys, let's get quickly started. We will get started by discussing the answer from the previous session. So the answer to the previous session's question is C. Gondwana land, and people who have answered the fastest are Amrutashri, Abhinav Kumar and Bhavna Dani. Congrats people, I'm super proud of you. I'm so happy. Guys, remember, your name can also be here. All you need to do is make sure that you are not just putting your response in the live chat, but also in the chat box and fastest. And how can you assure that you are being the fastest, guys, so that you do not miss the session, you get the notification of the session on time? Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and on that note, hit that like button right now because we are going to get started with our session, with our chapter, and it's going to be a super quick, super short, super informative session. Yeah, so as I told you, we are supposed to only do map work for this. So drainage, Bacha, what do you mean by drainage? So normally drainage, in my mind would occur with the definition would be of the sewage, of the water disposal that we have around in the city. But drainage basically means the river system of India. So in this chapter, what we are going to do is, along with the river system of India, we are also going to study about different water bodies like lakes. Okay, so lakes and rivers, both Himalayan and peninsular rivers, is what we are going to do today. Now, as I told you guys, you are going to get identification, which means identify and label, right? So what you're supposed to do is that you have to make sure that you are aware about these lakes: Wular, Pulicat, Sambar and Chilika. At the same time, you know which city, state it is in, where in that state it is in, somewhat roughly, and a little bit of details is also what I'll be telling you about these lakes, just to make the session a little more informative and a little more interesting, because map works otherwise tends to get a little depressing and monotonous. So we're going to get started with Wular Lake. As you can clearly see it is in Jammu and Kashmir, and it is actually a tectonic lake. Now you have to identify where Wular Lake is whenever it comes. So you're just going to mark it in the center of Jammu and Kashmir roughly, because it is right there, and it's a tectonic lake. You might be thinking, ma'am, what is tectonic lake? If you don't know that already, then it's your task to find out what do you mean by tectonic lake, and do tell me in the comment section. Yeah. Then we have Sambar Lake. Guys, as you can see, it's right over here. What state is this? This is Rajasthan. So again, in the middle of Rajasthan, you're going to mark Sambar Lake. Let's understand a little bit more about this. But yeah, this is actually an inland drainage lake. What does that mean? This lake does not have water on its own. It's majorly dependent on monsoon for water, which means this lake will not have water the entire time in the year, and it will not be brimming up to the edge. Why? As you know, it is in Rajasthan, which is an arid region. It is mostly dry and hot. So it needs water to be fed into the lake by the monsoons. One thing interesting about this lake is it actually has salt. It's actually a salt water lake. The water over here is really saline. As a result of that, the water from this lake is also used for production of salt. This water from this lake is used for producing salt. Yeah, so with that we are done with Sambar Lake. Let's quickly move to Chilika. As you can see, this is in Odisha, towards the edge, absolutely absolutely towards Bay of Bengal, right on the edge of Odisha, a little towards southern eastern side. So this is your Chilika Lake. You know the state already. A quick information about Chilika Lake is, Bacha, it's a lagoon lake. Now lagoon lake are mostly saline. That's one. Second, how are lagoon lakes formed? So they actually get separated from a bigger water body. So Chilika Lake must have been a part of a bigger water body earlier, but then what happens if they're a part of a bigger water body? So they get separated from the bigger water bodies by natural barriers. Natural barriers could be of coral reefs, of sand barriers, maybe sand dunes got like islands were formed in the middle, and ultimately they got separated from the main bigger water body. The same thing happens with oxbow lakes as well. Yeah, and with that we are done with Chilika Lake. Moving on to Pulicat Lake. Guys, I can see Pulicat Lake is actually on the border. This is Tamil Nadu, and the upper one is Andhra Pradesh. So it lies right on the border of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, but it's mostly a little towards Andhra Pradesh, not completely on the border. So it's counted under Andhra Pradesh only. Just like Chilka Lake, this is also a lagoon lake. It has got separated from a bigger water body, and it is saline. It is a salt water lake. So with that, we're done with Pulicat Lake. Let's quickly come and identify rivers. So we're supposed to identify 3 rivers: Indus, Ganges, and Satluj. Okay. Now, Brahmaputra is not mentioned over here. The top 3 Himalayan rivers, the entire Himalayan river system, if we talk about, is you can say incomplete without, if we are missing out any one of out of Indus, Ganges, or Brahmaputra. So I will kind of tell you about Brahmaputra also, just to let you know what it is, where it is. But we will start with Indus. So guys, as you can see over here, we are going to focus completely on the Indus River. In the picture over here, we also have the tributaries of Indus, which is Jhelum, Chenab, and Satluj. Satluj is what we need to focus on, but Chenab and Jhelum is not much of importance for us. But we're just going to have a look at it, not be completely focused on it. Okay. So if we talk about Indus, guys, Indus only flows through one state of India, which is Jammu and Kashmir. It enters Jammu and Kashmir near Ladakh. Okay. And as you can see over here, here somewhere is our Ladakh. So that's where it enters, and this is the Jammu Kashmir part. And after that, it flows out of India. It leaves India after that. But where does it start from? So bacha, it starts here somewhere in Tibet. Okay, this part is of Tibet. This part is of Tibet. So it starts somewhere here and then enters near Ladakh in India, passes through Jammu and Kashmir, takes kind of a U-turn, and then goes into Pakistan and flows into Pakistan and goes into Arabian Sea. Finally, it merges out there, it drains out there. Now, if we talk about Satluj, okay, so Satluj, bacha, as you can see, it originates somewhere in Himachal Pradesh, and it goes forward and then joins Indus in Pakistan. Now, I just want to quickly let you know that these rivers are beginning in the east and is flowing towards west, towards Pakistan. And all the tributaries of Indus, if you see, all of them are starting in the eastern direction, flowing to the western direction from India towards Pakistan, goes and ultimately converges at a point in Pakistan. So be it Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, or Satluj, starts in India or Tibet, flows through India, joins together, converges together, all these tributaries in Pakistan. The point where it joins together, guys, is Mithankot, and then together as Indus River, they go and get drained out in the Arabian Sea. So that was Indus and Satluj for you. Now we are going to quickly talk about Ganges River. Ganges, bacha, as you know, Ganga also we know it as. It starts here in Uttarakhand. Now see, it's not that it is actually originating from Uttarakhand. It actually forms a confluence over there. So what happens is Bhagirathi and Alaknanda starts from 2 different points. Okay, Bhagirathi starts somewhere upper side from Gangotri Glacier, right? And from there it starts flowing, okay, somewhere here, and then over here, and then Alaknanda comes, and both of them get joined here in Uttarakhand in Devprayag. Okay, and that's where right from that point Ganga river starts. That's why sometimes as a synonym of Ganga we also read Bhagirathi or Alaknanda. Yeah, and people, just so that you know that this river actually starts flowing from there. You must have seen a picture of this confluence point in your book also. It's given over there. So it starts from here. Okay, it starts from the Himalayas, from the mountainous regions, and it starts flowing through the plains and finally flows into Bangladesh before getting drained out into Bay of Bengal. Okay, so it passes through the states of a few states of India, flows into Bangladesh where it is known as Padma. So it is known as Ganga till here. The moment it enters Bangladesh, it is known as Padma. As Padma, it then goes and gets drained into Bay of Bengal. But some alteration happens there also. I will quickly get at that. Let me take a moment to again recap that it starts in the mountainous regions and then flows towards plains and enters Bangladesh before getting drained into Bay of Bengal. Right now, if I talk about Brahmaputra, guys, I know it's not in your syllabus. Just letting you know, Brahmaputra starts here somewhere in Tibet only. It starts from Mansarovar Lake near that, and then it flows parallel to the Himalayas. Okay, it starts somewhere here and flows parallel to the Himalayas till here, and then all of a sudden takes a U-turn and enters India through Assam. Then it flows through Assam into Bangladesh. Okay, it takes a U-turn, flows into Assam. Through Assam, it flows back into Bangladesh, where it is known as Jamuna. So Ganga becomes Padma, Brahmaputra becomes Jamuna. And interestingly, you know what happens? The Ganga over here and Brahmaputra over here in Bangladesh, they converge and they form, so basically Padma and Jamuna converge in Bangladesh and they form a new river system called Meghna. And Meghna is what gets drained down into Bay of Bengal. Okay, now with that, I quickly want to remind you guys that Vedantu is the learning partner of KBC 2020 and we are super excited for that. And with that, we are not just bringing the opportunity for you. We're not just giving you a platform to show your talent, but with that we're gonna get the most wonderful once in a lifetime opportunity to sit across Amitabh Bachchan in the Students' Week. How exciting is that? But what do we need to do for that? So all you need to do is just download the Vedantu app, and over there you're gonna get week quiz, which happens twice in a day. I think 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Just keep playing. See, few days have only gone. This quiz started around 5th of October and are going to go till 18th October. Whoever scores the highest points will get to go and sit on this hot seat, and it could be you guys. So if you've already not done that, go ahead and start playing the week quiz. Now you may have questions like, ma'am, what to do, what is the step, how do we register? Bacha, you just download the Vedantu app. You will find all the information right over there. Okay, now we're going to talk about the peninsular rivers. Which ones? Narmada, Tapi, Godavari, Krishna, Godavari and Mahanadi. Okay, so let's get started. Now, what are peninsular rivers? So, Bacha, the rivers which flow, as you know, there are two kinds of rivers that flow in India. One is the Himalayan river system, which is basically the rivers which originates from Himalayas and are snow-fed and are perennial. And then we have rivers, and those rivers basically flow above, like you can imagine, above Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere of India. These rivers flow in the peninsular part of India. What do we mean by peninsula? Peninsula is a piece of land which is surrounded by water on three sides. So, if you look at India's southern part, it is surrounded by water on the three sides, and this part is like an inverted triangle. This triangle is known as peninsula, and in this peninsular plateau flows these rivers which are known as peninsular rivers. So guys, one quick observation. If you see, most of the peninsular rivers will start somewhere, but they will always flow from west to east and go and get drained into Bay of Bengal. Most of the rivers except for Narmada and Tapti or Tapi, which makes an exception over here. Right? Okay, so let's get started with our first river, which is Narmada. As you can see over here, guys, Narmada starts over here somewhere, which is the Amarkantak Plateau. So it starts somewhere the Amarkantak Plateau and flows towards the west and goes and gets drained into the Arabian Sea, right? And it joins the Arabian Sea, but before that it passes through Gujarat, and it is a very long river and one of the few exceptional rivers which flows from east to west in the peninsular region. So that is basically Narmada. Then if we talk about Tapi, as you can see, it is right below Narmada, so somewhat southern, a little south to Narmada, somewhat parallel to it. It flows and it also goes and joins the Arabian Sea. Now it starts in Betul in Madhya Pradesh. Okay guys, it starts in Madhya Pradesh in the Satpura ranges, of the mountains, and from there it starts flowing towards Maharashtra and Gujarat. Okay, so from from Madhya Pradesh, goes through Maharashtra, Gujarat, and then from there it gets drained out into the Arabian Sea, moves from east to west. So if you see this river, bacha, you can see this one is Narmada. That's what you're supposed to label as Narmada. If you're supposed to trace it, then trace it from here to here. Tapti will start in Madhya Pradesh, go pass a little bit through Maharashtra, enter Gujarat, and then into the Arabian Sea. So the river right below Narmada, from which begins from Satpura range in Betul in Madhya Pradesh, is your Tapi river. Then we have Mahanadi. So except for these two, as I told you, all the rivers are basically flowing from west to east. So which Mahanadi gets started in the highlands of Chhattisgarh, which means the lands which are comparatively a little elevated in the part of Chhattisgarh is known as it originates from there, and that river is known as Mahanadi. It originates from there and then it flows into the Bay of Bengal, but before that it enters into another state, Orissa. Okay, so as you can see bacha, it starts from the highlands of Chhattisgarh, flows into Orissa. Over here it forms a delta it basically forms delta, which is a root kind of structure. As you know what happens with near delta right before joining the bigger water body. The river gets shallow because all the silt and sand is now consolidated over there. So the land is more, the water gets shallow, and as a result of which it breaks into different branches forming a delta. So Mahanadi also does the same thing, forms a delta near here in Orissa and then drains out into Bay of Bengal. Okay, then we have Krishna. So as you can see guys, Krishna starts here. It basically starts in the Mahabaleshwar hills of Maharashtra. So if you just want to remember the state, it starts in Maharashtra in the Mahabaleshwar hills. From there it flows towards this. Okay, now it is a very long river. Okay guys, Narmada is a long river, then Krishna is also a very long river. Then it flows towards Bay of Bengal, and right before getting drained out over here it forms a delta kind of structure, and then it merges into Bay of Bengal. Okay, then we have Godavari. Godavari is actually the largest, the longest peninsular river, as you can see evidently, right? It starts right over here in the Western Ghats and starts moving towards the eastern region and finally goes and joins the Bay of Bengal. Bacha, it starts in Maharashtra in the Nasik region, okay? So it basically starts over here in the Nashik district, and then it starts flowing towards the eastern side, towards the eastern Ghats, and then it goes and joins Bay of Bengal. If we talk about the total length of Godavari, as we are saying, it is the longest, it is largest, it is around 1500 kilometers, 1500 kilometers is the total length of Godavari. Okay, so with this we are done with Mahanadi, Narmada, Tapi, Godavari, Krishna, and now finally Kaveri. Bacha, Kaveri starts in Karnataka, in Western Ghats, okay, and it starts in the Brahmagiri ranges, okay. After that it flows through Tamil Nadu and goes and joins towards the end, flows through Tamil Nadu and joins Bay of Bengal. It passes through 3 states, okay. It passes through Kerala, it passes through Karnataka, and it passes through Tamil Nadu. So you can see it starts over here in the Brahmagiri ranges, then it flows from here to here, and then over here goes through Tamil Nadu into Bay of Bengal. Okay guys, actually Kaveri has been a very controversial river. Reason being that it is the main source of water for Tamil Nadu and Karnataka as a state, and both the states actually lack water somewhere. They're not very like the water table and the scenario in terms of water is not so good for these 2 states. So they have always had fights, and there's been a dispute when it came to water being distributed from the Kaveri river. In fact, it led to very serious riots and protests also. Okay, so remember that Kaveri flows through Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Now with this we are done with our map marking. Let me take a quick minute and discuss with you guys the problems that you guys are facing. Bacha, we know that you have problems like doubts, you're not sure where to clarify your doubts from. Like every session, every chapter, every text that you read, I'm sure thousands of questions come to your mind and you're not very sure like who should you approach, who will be the right person to clarify your doubts. So that's always there. Then social science has another problem, not just social science in general. We need good notes to refer to. We cannot keep going back to our books, we cannot keep wandering around, and we do not know which is a proper source of notes, which is going to be our one-stop solution, and we're going to be super sorted when it comes to notes. So notes is another problem. Then of course, how do we make sure that we are having proper tests and assignments which is preparing us enough, just right enough for our final examinations. Then it's not just the examinations, we have competitive exams also. Then choice of schedule, like how do I make sure that I'm able to manage with the schedule which is of my choice, which is helping me jiggle between my school classes, my tuition classes, my coaching classes, all of it, whatever it is, my self-studies, Vedanta classes. So you should have the liberty of choosing your schedule, right? Your own schedule, and that has been a challenge till now. And then of course the choice of language. I mean, like, this new channel is created because a lot of you were not able to understand Hindi. So of course that is also there. So all of these problems have now been solved for you with super bonuses. You get all the classes unlimited live, which means you do not have to worry whether this session is going to be live, whether this session is going to be premiered, because all the sessions are now going to be live for you. And all of this comes with your access to all the micro sessions and crash courses, which means just in case ever, if you're not able to attend the live session, you do not have to worry that, oh my god, I missed the live session, how do I interact with the teacher now, how do I get my doubts resolved, because you will have access to all the micro sessions and crash courses. Join it whenever, wherever you want, whatever you feel you have missed on, if you need one more class to clarify those concepts, you just have to go and join these sessions, and these sessions are also going to be live, wherein you're gonna get in class live performance reports, guys, and also with all those tests and assignments that's happening, you will be continuously assessed, and that will keep giving you the right performance reports, which will make you aware of where you exactly stand, what are the areas where you are performing well, what are the areas where you need to work on, where you need to grow more and more. And then of course with that comes a lot of personalized attention. I know, all of us know, that whenever we are taking session, you guys always want to talk to the master teachers, you always want to interact, you always want to ask questions. So all of these things are going to be taken care of in the sessions, which is going to be a part of the Vedanta Pro subscription. You will get one-on-one personalized attention, which I'm sure all of you long for, and all your doubts will be clarified by the class teacher and the master teacher then and there, right in the session. All you need to do for this is just click on the link in the description box, or that is pinned in the comment section, and then you get to choose your grade. These are the steps that you need to follow. Choose your board and then check out all the details that's there. Then just click on get subscription button, and then you will get two options of 1 month and 3 months. You will also get 6 months, so choose whichever is favorable for you. We understand 6 months doesn't make sense anymore, so you can go with 1 month or 3 months, and if you want to be with us till March, go ahead with 6 months also. There's no harm in it. We still have almost full of October, November and December, and then 3 months at the next year. And the bigger package you take, the bigger discount you get, and it's going to be a bigger jackpot that you will hit. So being a part of the Vedanta family, along with all those problems, solution for all your problems, all of those bonuses, all of the privileges you get, on top of it you get a very amazing discount. The plan which was earlier available for 11,499 is now available only for 9,199 rupees, guys. So awesome. And how can you get this? So all you need to do is just click on the link in the description box, or that is a pin in the comment section. Go there, follow the steps, choose your class, grade, check out the details, get subscription, hit on that button, and then just apply this code AKEPRO. This is my coupon code, guys. No matter which plan, which subscription you are picking up for yourself, make sure you are using this code so that you can avail and access the discount that you deserve. Yeah, and with that, let's quickly come to the homework question and discuss in which state of India the Pulicat Lake is located. Is it in Jharkhand, Telangana, Orissa, or Andhra Pradesh? Remember, I told you which side it is more on, because it's on the border of 2 states. So choose your answer wisely and make sure you are putting it in the comment section so that your name can also come in the leaderboard. And be fast, guys. And guys, it gives me a lot of pride to announce that we have, as a Vedanta family, given the best result among all online classes in IIT JEE Advanced. So in IIT JEE Advanced, we have we have grabbed the top ranks, guys. A lot of those, not just 1 or 2. We are celebrating our super scores. We are celebrating our the super performances of our dear students, their hard work, their efforts, and we are also celebrating the hard works and efforts by our master teachers. It gives us a lot of pride, and a great amount of happiness to announce the kind of results that we have had and how proud we feel as Vedantu family. We have scored 5 ranks in top 500 all India ranks, and there are around 253 students in the top 10,000 guys, and that's the best result online in today's date. And if you actually are planning to do this in your future, this is what you want to do, if this is what you want to achieve, you're on the right platform. And these are our dear students who have made us so proud by securing the best positions possible, and we are so glad to say that we have done it together as a family. And who has helped them, who has helped these guys? But it's the Vedantu Pro subscription. So make sure you are also doing that, and thank you so much for being here, for being a part of this session. With this, we come to the end of the session. If it was fun, you like the video, guys, quickly go and hit on that like button. Do not forget to click on that bell icon, which will subscribe you to the channel, so that the moment we have new video coming up, you get the notification immediately. Also, guys, please make sure you're putting your doubts in the comment section, and do tell me in the comment section how did you like the video. Guys, why am I asking you to put your doubts in the comment section? A lot of you write mails to me, and sometimes I miss on it, and I do not want to do that. Also, the doubts which are discussed in the doubt and the medi session are only picked from the comment sections. So please make sure you are doing that, and I will see you guys in the next session. Till then, guys, take good care of yourselves. Stay home, stay safe. Have a great day ahead. Bye, people. Enjoy yourselves and take care.